Good morning, good morning. How are you? How's everyone doing? Good morning. Uh, we've had a bit of a poll this morning. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Nate G. I'm the other Nate, and I'm in here usually a couple times a week. I'm always in chat. Uh, and anything that I do, I put in the chat and or do it live on the mic. Every time I say that, it reminds me of Bill O'Reilly. F it, we'll do it live. Do it live on the mic. So my trades do not, the one and only Nate G. Um, I'm just watching a trade right now. Sorry, I sound a little distracted. As I came on, we took this sniper bounce here out of this gamma exposure level, and it's the second little bounce we've caught today, and it's working, but we're just tracking to see if it's going to be a sustained bounce or a flip out. The previous one here was only like a little 15 percenter, and then it rolled right back over. So trying to see if that's what's going to happen here. Now, for me, whatever I do a lot of zero DTE trading on the SPY, SPX, XSP, QQQ, IWM, any one of those that has a zero DTE option, which means every day they have an option series that expires that day. And I play a lot of different styles on those things. So I have a sniper trading edge, which is catching quick reversals and or continuations. And I also do a lot of call credit spreads, put credit spreads, and then I use gamma exposure to do some butterflies towards the end of the day. So but almost all of that, I trade a lot of TPS. Nate was my original mentor. I do that as well, but what I tend to put in this room more than anything else, yeah, and the ORB, which is also a zero DTE trade as well, which we did this morning, which I'll go over. Um, Almost all of it is zero DTE, and the one thing that I do use a lot of, I like to use the SPX, right, which you see up on the chart, and sometimes the XSP. And the reason for these on a zero DTE basis is they're both cash settled. So you can let the option expire into the close and it'll cash settle instead of having to take it off, right? So this is great for credit spreads or butterflies. You can just let them expire towards the end of the day. You can kind of walk away if it looks like it's going to be in the right pocket of profit for you, or even if it's not, you can still walk away and just let it expire, and you don't have to worry about getting assigned or anything like that. Um, yeah, and I also have a lot of training videos. I think the mods put the link in there to that. This session is also being recorded, so I'm going to take this off here in just a second. I'm watching. This is a nice little bounce here. At least I'm going to take off a chunk of it. Sorry for my relatively distracted view as I'm tracking this. It's about another 15% there. We'll take that off. So some of the things that I do, as you can see, I have a 15-minute opening range break indicator here that shows me the 15-minute opening range for the day. And the trade that we took this morning, which I do every day, and I put this one in chat as well, is when price breaks to either the upside or the downside of the 15-minute opening range, right? This is our opening range. You can also, if you don't have the indicator or don't want the indicator, you can also just let the first 15-minute candle close and put some lines in top and bottom. And then when you get a 5-minute candle break of that range, in this case, today was to the downside. So I was buying the 68.10, or selling the 68.10, buying the 68.15 call credit spread, right? And that's a bet that price will not get back above that 68.10 level, and it's going to continue to move down. And the reason I like to sell a call credit spread or a put credit spread is because if we didn't get a nice big move like this and things just went sideways throughout the course of the day on a 0 DTE, the theta decay would get us to our profit target just because the market was going sideways. And so for these to work, you either need the market to go the direction you're playing it in or go sideways. The only thing it can't do is go against you, right? And then throughout the course of the day, the theta takes premium out of the option contracts and you get to your profit target. So on the 68.10s and the 68.15s, right? Took those and got $1.25 in credit per contract, right? And then flipped these out down here for 60 cents per contract, a little over 50%. Right, and so the edge is you're looking for to take about $1 in between $1.20 to about 80 cents, somewhere in there is your pocket to take in credit per contract, and then you're shooting for 50% of that is your profit target, and 2x would be your stop loss. So let's say today I got in for 125, 250 would be my stop, right? So your 2x is your stop and your 50% profit target on the way down, or on the way, not down. Today was down, but in the direction of your trade. This 15-minute indicator is just one from, it's just from LuxAlgo. It's free. It's ORB and targets. And then you can change, it's pretty easy. You just change your time frame here from 15-minute to whatever you want. They have all the time frames available. It's a pretty simple indicator, obviously. But it just kind of puts it on your charts. So today's 15-minute opening range break was also an hourly opening range break. So I'll play either one of those from time to time. I'm sorry, am I missing some questions here? Absolute GEX right now is this 67.50 at the moment. So then what other people are asking in the room is what is the gamma exposure levels? And I play these, or I have these levels on my charts because they help inform me where the greatest gamma exposure level is, where the greatest call and put volume is. Gamma exposure is basically volume profile for the options market. And if you're playing something like an SPX, most of that volume, most of the shares traded are options. And knowing where those key levels are, I did a whole YouTube on it, and it is a just really helps find levels of support and resistance, and also magnet levels. And it looks like we're going to break down here even further. Just watching this here real quick. Chris, max pain is calculated from that, but it's yeah. I mean, it is in a sense because it's all based on options data. Now you can see down here we caught that little bounce using the sniper tool, and now it just looks like we're going to have, at least for now, a trend down sort of day. So what I'm going to start looking for is bounces, and then I'm going to buy puts into bounces and see if we can't get a few rollover continuation style trades. Let's see, next major level below us is going to be 68.25. Let's take this down there. So next major level is going to be about there if we continue to push down. And this support level, once we're under it, will act as resistance. Gary, no, these are my levels. I just put these in looking at the GEX data. What's up, Coach? Which indicator, Roscoe? I use a bunch. Are you talking about the sniper indicator? Yeah, the sniper is proprietary. That's ours, and it is coming. It hasn't been released publicly yet, but it is coming. Nice, Coach. Well done. How's Google looking? Google's still rolling over. Yeah, still kind of holding those lows. Lemonade had a nice pop today. And when D-Man comes on, I'm sure he'll talk a lot about the volume profile of regular stock charts and how we use that pretty extensively when we trade in here. The first day, do I like it versus Lux? Yeah, I do. I sure do. It has a number of different settings here. You can look at a standard sniper overbought, oversold kind of situation. You can switch it to show trend up and trend down when you have those kinds of days. And then it has this third kind of setting where we can do basically a sniper scalper. I'm watching here for another quick bounce. If I can get this candle to close, I'm going to try that. Again, I'll use the 676 calls. Because we are hovering right around this put support level. These are the gamma exposure levels that I put on my charts. I also, for those in the room, do a separate one at the beginning of the day and share it with everyone so they have it. And this is just in TradingView. You can open this in a browser, or you can open it in TradingView and have the levels for the day, because they obviously change every day. Right, Coach? They've been short-lived bounces. I feel like a bigger bounce is coming. I'll tell you what. This is the SPY chart. And yesterday I kind of drew this blue box. We're in options expiration week, right? So this was Monday. This is Tuesday. Today is Wednesday, right? If you sort of extrapolate out, Thursday and Friday, I think we're coming down out of here, going to put in a low, rally back, and maybe finish the day somewhere in or near this box here on Friday. That's my prediction. Now, the market's going to do what the market's going to do. So it could just continue to roll off. But in a more traditional OPEX style week, we have, a range. It's trying to suck premium out of everyone, and we end up coming back into the same range that we'd been in when we started the week. And as you can see, even prior to that, for the last number of weeks, or the last 2 weeks, we've been extending out of this range and then kind of coming back into it. So I have a feeling that's what's going to happen here this week as well. Although I have been caught on the wrong side of that before, where you're expecting it to come back from a big rangy move, and it just keeps going. So is there a Nate bot? Oh, there is. Look at that. I don't know if that link is right. I mean, the link is probably right. It's just missing the HTTPS stuff, but let's see. Oh no, it comes through. Never mind. Love that. Nice work, mods. It's linking weirdly, but the link works. So can't be mad at that. I love it. And I just update that every day. All right, so that sniper is working out. It's working slowly. And see, if we kind of zoom in here, we've just sort of caught a little guy here before I came on the mic, right? little guy here where we were on the mic, and then we're in the process of this one seeing what it wants to do. Now when I do gamma exposure stuff, the chart that I'm using looks like this. Okay, and this shows call levels and put levels, and then absolute gamma levels. And if we had more time, we could get into kind of what this means. But market makers need to hedge towards these large gamma levels, both on the put and the call side. And they not only act as magnets, but also as support and resistance levels, right? So this 6750 level that we're at looks like it's going to act as a support area, but I don't think we're going to get much of a bounce because it's also acting as a magnet. And so what we can do towards the end of the day is potentially take a iron butterfly type trade for a pin at the end of the day. And I can go through what that looks like because I will most likely not be on the mic when that happens. I usually put those on at 1:30. What's the schedule for today? I think, am I back on? I'm on twice today. Let's see. Yeah, that'll be when D-Man's on at about 1:30. He's on from 1 to 2. And so what we do is we take the level that it has the most gamma exposure, the absolute Gex level, and we do a 20 wide iron butterfly. And what that looks like is if let's say we were going to choose this put support level at 6750, it's 4 total legs, right? You're buying a call credit spread. You're selling the 6750 and buying the 6740 as a call credit spread, and then you're selling the 6750 puts and buying the 6740 as a put credit spread. And if you do all of those in the same leg, it's called an iron butterfly. And what that will do is if we close within this range right here, it's going to be in profit if we close the day in there. If you pin it exactly, usually, this kind of a thing will be, let's say, we're going to get 750, right? And you're going to risk 250, right? So your max loss is going to be 250. Your profit, if you get an exact pin, is going to be 750, and then it sort of descends along this range in terms of what you make in profit pretty quickly as you get closer to the wings, and then anything outside the wings this way and outside the wings this way is a full loss, right? And so these can be a little like lotto trades. So we want to try and make that trade when we are away from that level and we're willing to risk whatever the max loss is going to be. And they can be, about a 45% win rate. So not a high win rate, but when you do win, like yesterday, Nate did one at 6,800 and it pinned 6,800 and like 17 cents, like almost exactly. So that can be pretty effective. But if you take it with me, please know that it is a lotto style trade. Don't risk anything more than you're willing to lose. That is correct, Florida girl or FL girl. It's the one you're looking at right here. Below that is the Vold, which is just kind of doing nothing today, so I don't really need that. Iron butterfly is basically an iron condor, right? Iron butterfly is basically an iron condor, except in an iron condor you'd have a put credit spread here, let's say here, right? And a call credit spread up here, and you're hoping that this will expire in the middle, right? You'll close the day somewhere in the middle for your max profits. So it's the same, other than you're now bringing the two spreads together, right? And you're selling the same strike value, just a difference of a call and a put for the mid, right? So it's basically a smushed iron condor, and then your wings are a little bit bigger. So that's where you get the distance, right? So you do it 10 wide on either side for a 20 wide total. Right, the center strikes are the same in a butterfly. So during the course of the day, this is interesting, okay? So we're still at our put support level. This is a 1 minute chart on the SPX. We could be, I'm going to watch this closely. If we start to get a little bit of a bounce in this area, what are we putting in? Can anyone tell me? An inverted head and shoulders, right? So, and then if we can get back above that sort of neckline area, that would be bullish. However, what it looks like right now is we're putting in lower highs, right? High, 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 and then so far we're putting in lower lows. So it's be interesting to see if it wants to put in a bottom down here and bounce for a little bit, back maybe up into the VWAP area or this gamma exposure level, or if we're going to continue on down and put in another lower low. What are our -7, almost -800 ticks. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look great. But that's what we do. We come in and we take what the market's going to give us on the day, and we try to make the best trades that we can. You know, I've caught a couple of bounces. If I wasn't sitting here chatting around on the mic and talking about a bunch of different things, I probably would have tried to take, as I mentioned, a continuation put trade here off of this signal, because we're not quite getting the bounce that we're hoping for. But we'll see. We'll see if this wants to continue lower or not. The VIX is important, right? As the VIX rises, the market's going to be coming off. So, you know, we have these internals here on TradingView. These are the ticks, the VIX, and the advanced decline. So the advanced decline's been coming off all after late morning, earlier this morning. It's been coming off. The VIX has been rising. Ticks have been coming down here towards 600 and 900. That's not great for the market, right? If you can't hear me, you can turn on your sound right in that area, or at least check that it's not muted. That should help quite a bit. Sometimes a refresh also helps. So let's see what we get here in this area. See if this turns into a double bottom or another leg down. And this is this is the fun of trading the 1 and 2 minutes on the indices. Is sometimes you just kind of wait and see what happens off of key levels. J44, no, I don't only trade the SPX. I do a lot of swing trading when the market is primed for that. And as of late, it's been a little choppy and a little bit more difficult on the swing trade side of things. So when that happens, I just sort of shift focus to sniper trading and limit overnight risk unless I have a setup that just looks fantastic. This last week and this week, I've been playing Lemonade quite a bit, picking it up down in these areas down here, right? And then flipping it out on the run, on the run back up. Those have been nice. I've been watching Google for a potential bounce today, which after that little breakdown from gap close, I think is good for the into the end of the week. Where are we? Here we are. I was on the wrong side. I was looking for the gap close. Here we go. Gap close is there, right? So we've pushed down through it, but I think there's opportunity for that thing to get back up and recover a little bit. If paper trading is reflecting real trading, then what happens? Trying to figure out what spurred that question. Most of the sniper indicators that we've found and used are all a paid indicator. There is a version that we can share if you like the sniper style of trading, the sniper lifestyle, as it were. There is a free version because you're using a free version in the sense that you're using oversold and overbought conditions. I can show you that one. That's this chart here. So this is the sniper chart that is free. And what we're looking for are overbought and oversold conditions on the RSI, right? And then across on the MACD. Those are the two things that give you a signal. And so I can definitely share this chart because all of the things that you're seeing now on these are free. And as soon as we release this version, then we'll change the link of the Nate bot from the Sniper Pro, not using the Lux Algo version. Yeah, we just cannot get anything going, can we? Should we look at Sam and see if we can find anything of interest to play today? It's kind of hard to want to get into some longs when the market is giving us a pull like this. Although, when there's blood in the streets, right, that's when you're supposed to be aggressive. And when everybody's celebrating is when you need to be getting out. So maybe it is time. Where are we from the Pitbull range? Yeah, we just talked about that. I think whether we get a larger pull down. This is the SPY. I think we're coming back up into point of control and sort of this range that I drew a box on. If this is going to be a more typical OPEX week, then I think that's what we'll be seeing. That's all right. There's no such thing as as they say. There's no such thing as a dumb question. Can you all give me just 1 second? I need to step away for just a quick second. I will be right back. I'm going to mute myself for a second. Okay, sorry about that. I am back. Yeah, I had to step away for just a quick second. I apologize. Sometimes that happens, you know. Oh, we're just sitting here holding this line. At some point, I do think we'll get a bounce. Can you hear me again? I am back. Yeah, Froylan. Um, somebody will drop in the YouTube link. There is a whole uh, there is a whole uh, playlist on sniper trading. Yep. Thank you, John. And there's probably 15 videos in there that walk through the sniper trading. And so when I'm sniper trading, I guess I didn't cover that earlier, I'm just buying long calls or long puts depending on the direction of the market. Okay, let's take a look at Sam, see if we can find anything to do at the moment from a TPS style trade, or maybe yeah, coach, I did one. It's on YouTube. It's the most recent video. So at 11:30, or sorry, at 1:30, while D-Man's on, you'll see me put in a trade for an iron butterfly for today. So an end of day iron butterfly, and that'll just be a cash settled item that's a lotto style play that I'll put in, and I'll put in all of the legs of it. But other than that, I'm just using these put and resistance levels, support and resistance levels, as areas to play off of. What it looks like right now is this 6750 is going to be our biggest level going into this afternoon. It sort of remains this pretty massive level. But what I'm seeing, and you know, this is sort of an ever-changing chart, and why I'm trying to play this bounce is if you take a look at, so here are the put and call levels, and obviously this 6750 is the largest gamma exposure level on the put side, and it looks like there's not a lot going above it, right, and into the call side. But when we look at absolute gamma, what's happening is this is still the largest level that we're on right now, but these levels above it are starting to grow, right? Which means, you know, as I refresh this, which means I think, Mark, if they start to get bigger and become larger gamma exposure levels, market makers are going to have to hedge back towards those levels, which could potentially give us a bounce. Now, this is, you know, this is sort of a thing that is constantly changing, so that could definitely shift, but it's kind of interesting to look at and try and help gauge which direction the market might be trying to head now that we're kind of holding, you know, this level for the time being, you know, as a support level. Now, that being said, This is this is definitely a bearish flag. If you were playing this from, like a TPS style trade, well, why can't I get that other line to come? You would think, okay, well, we've moved down into this area. We're starting to flag out the natural direction this should go is further down. So there's some question here as to what the market's going to decide to do from here. It looks pretty bearish at the moment. Meta, yeah, let's take a look at Meta. Yeah, this chart in Meta looks great. This afternoon when I come on, I'll be doing a session on how to set up a trade plan. And so finding these perfect TPS style charts will be exactly, excuse me, what I need. So I definitely like this on is there a 10-minute squeeze? Ooh, yeah, 10-minute squeeze. That looks pretty nice. What's the overall daily look like? Okay. That's interesting. Is that just a misprint? Huh. That's interesting. All right, let's look at Sam and see if we can find anything to do at the moment. All right, let's go Sam. Let's see if we can't find like a 30-minute squeeze. Those are my favorite. I like the high and tight 30-minute squeeze. Lows. Well, that one's kind of interesting. Lows is kind of interesting. Let's see. EA. Oh, that's, whoa. Oh yeah, that's a buyout, right? Okay. On to bigger and better things. Yeah, most of these shorter squeezes are gonna have broken down already if the market is pulling in this way. Nate had one earlier that looked really nice. Does anybody remember what that was? PayPal? No, that wasn't it, but I'll look at it. Yeah, that's a pretty bearish looking squeeze. Guess not if it's kind of holding that level there. Ah, was it UPS? Yeah. Get right down in there. Yeah, look at that. Okay, looks like we just broke the low. Now we'll see if this wants to bounce back up, come in here, retest, and then come down into that level there. Or if it's just trying to fake us out. Doesn't look like a lot of buyers are stepping in at the moment. So UPS is another good one. It basically did a little breakdown and reclaim, which is very bullish. I don't know why I didn't notice that this morning. What's Riley up to? Oh, this is interesting. What else? Does anybody have any other chart? Lulu? Let's see what we can find with Lulu. Oh, yeah, okay. Ooh, yeah. I really like Lulu. Uh-huh. All right, so I might use Lulu for my trade plan later, but I do like this chart a lot. What do we got in the way of... Are you front running my butterfly play? Okay, I see you, Nate. I see you. So after earnings, still pretty close to this point of control. Oh yeah, we were just talking about gamma levels, and usually I do that at about 1:30, and well, we'll see. You did a 6,800, and I think, I mean, it's not bad. I think it's aggressive. It's not bad though, because your RR on that right now is really good. What'd you get it for? $1? Yeah. I mean, as far as a lotto goes, I love it. Like when looking here, here's the absolute gamma levels for today. So right now the 6750 is the biggest, but your 6800 up here, you can see has probably the most volume. I can't quite see where this volume level is. So that is a distinct possibility. Here's the open interest at 6,800. It's high, and the daily volume at 6,800. So we could see that rally, and really that would play into the idea that we're coming in here to do kind of a swing low into an OPEX week, and then a move into Friday back into that level and the point of control on the SPY. So I definitely do not dislike that idea. No, actually, you know what the funny thing is, Mark? When I pause and had to jump off the mic real quick, and if I'm the only one in here that does this, then I guess I'm the crazy person. But I looked out the window and I could see the garbage truck down the street, and I hadn't put out my bins, so I had to jump out and make sure the bins were out. Oh, wow. I am almost at the end of the hour. Who's on after me? Or are we on a little bit of a break? We on break. No, I don't. Let's see. 11 to 12. Yeah, we are on a lunch break from 12 to 1. And then there's a breakout with Mr. Bear. Um, yeah, Carmi, you can. Um, the butterfly works a little bit differently, and especially if you're doing like an iron butterfly or any one of these call credit spreads or put credit spreads, is you're using the theta decay, that's time decay in the option, to your advantage into the end of the day. So you could, I mean, if the pin is 6,800, which is way up here, right? So if you also think by the end of the day we're going to pin, you could go long a call and just hope that we start to move all the way up there. But you wouldn't want to do it to where you're going to take it all the way into the close, because even though you'll have value in that call as it moves up and more in the money, your theta is going to start to chew away at that towards the end of the as the day goes on. I don't know if you can do spreads or not. Another way you can play a move back up into 6,800 is you could, hold on a minute here. Let's look at the 2-minute chart. Be interesting to see if this is going to push back up or is just coming back in for a little bit of a retest. Mark, I have a couple that I use, but you could do, like if you wanted to play something up into here, you could do a put credit spread down here, or even or even you could go long call. You could go do a credit spread. You could even do a debit spread, but um, the most profitable are going to be the butterflies. Polaris, I like that play actually. I mean, that's exactly what I was just talking about. I feel like the potential for this to be, I mean, this is a good area to take a shot, right? I think this could be a low on the day itself. You could buy a spy. Yep, you could do a spy call for tomorrow for sure. So there's a number of ways in which to play these. Okay, my time is up for now. I'll be back on a little bit later to set up a trade plan. Show everybody how to set up a trade plan and mark it up and develop that plan. So in the meantime, we'll be at lunch, I think, unless you are in the VIP session with Nate. Mods, I'm not sure how people get to that, so please let them know if they are in the VIP session. And I'll be back on a little bit later. Again, as Nate said when he jumped off, this is a 3-day event, and always the best discounts are on day number 1. So if you're interested in coming in and trading with us like this every single day, then we'd love to have you, and this is the best place to do it. So this is the kind of environment that I learned in, and I couldn't have gotten to where I am today without being able to follow other people and learn from them, and then having a community that was as supportive as this. So definitely grab that if you can. All right, I'm going to switch over to Nate's screen, and it should be off mic, and then we'll come back on for sure in an hour.